Live from the City of Angels, Sunday Night Spectacular MMT is on the air, coast to coast, around the world. Thanks for being here on this Sunday night, one of my favorite shows to do. Thanks to those of you who've been tuning into the box office updates over the past several days. I think it's a new thing we're going to do in the mornings, a really tight stream or a video, one or the other, just discussing the numbers that are coming in and then putting those in context. Is it success? Is it bombing? Is it absolutely outperforming? Whatever it is, we will discuss. And for those of you who missed the stream this morning, let's get into the real details here. Let's drill down on Mission Impossible 7. When you look at the number here at the bottom of the screen, you're like 56 million. That's not good. That for a 3-day debut, that's less than Transformers, right? Way less than Spider-Verse. It's going to be less than Barbie. Could it be less than Oppenheimer? We're going to discuss all that here tonight. But 56 for 3 is not great. Now, remember, it was a 5-day debut, so at 80 million, it's a little better, but again, it's still not what we expected. We really wanted to see this at 90 plus. 90 was the low end for a 5-day debut stateside for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Didn't happen, okay? I need your comments. Why did this film not explode the way that we thought that it possibly could for all the reasons? One of the big ones was the Dial of Disaster. When a big tent pole right in front of another giant tent pole folds, then you reap the benefits of people not going to the movies. But now you have to ask the question, are people just sitting things out until we get to this coming weekend with Barbie and Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer, which apparently is like all the rage, but it's going to be a massive weekend next weekend. We'll discuss that throughout the night. When you look at Mission Impossible 7, 155 million international, and what I want to bring your attention to is the email from Paramount, and this is the international email that tells you all the different markets and where it opened up. What I want you to pay attention to here is very crucial that you, when you read emails, you read between the lines, okay? On a like-for-like basis, which means basically this against other Mission Impossibles and other films, this film is at 129.6 without China. 15% ahead without China. The problem is China is only 25.4 million, and that's 66% below Mission Impossible Fallout. Guys, that is like the sky is falling off, okay? So China is like, we're not even interested in watching this film. It's down 66, 2/3 lower than Fallout's opening in China. That is crucial because, as you guys know, these mission films make 3 times the box office overseas than they do stateside. And China's a big part. It's the number one market typically on any given giant 4-quad blockbuster like this. And if it is down, that means this whole film is down. That is the problem with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. So don't come in here, whatever comments you're going to hit me with here in a second, I don't want you coming in here saying it was acceptable. It was above what everyone was anticipating. No, no, and no. And the number you see in front of you, 66% down in China, is all you need. We need to focus on that. Focus on that number. Whiplash 95. Mission Impossible has never been a huge franchise. Highest grossing one at this point. Didn't even 800. Yes, but Whiplash, you're building. In most franchises, you're hoping to build on the box office, right? I know it doesn't happen all the time. I get that. But reason you have a sequel is because the other ones at least performed well. Here's why this film should be over 800 million. Cruise, the halo effect, Maverick. That combination should have led to this film doing better than 56 million for a 3-day weekend, 80 for 5. It just isn't as potent as we thought. The erection is more flaccid than... Oh my God, I had to go there. Here's the reasons why. Let me tell you why this film did not perform quite like we expected. No one, by the way, come on guys, listen. No one's calling this a bomb. I'm not on here on MMT on a Sunday night telling you this is a disaster like Indiana Jones and it's one of the biggest bombs in the history like The Flash. It's not that. We're just giving context here, telling you that this film did not fire the way that we thought that it could. It's okay. It's fine. We have time here, but there's some issues incoming, and we're discussing that in seconds. Satvik debuted with 100 million more than what Fallout did. Listen, here the point is this: is even if it's 15% ahead of, and by the way, that can't be, is that correct? I got to look at that number again. Let me pull the Fallout worldwide. You got to look at the initial weekend, right? China is down 66%. So right off the bat, you're in big trouble when you're down like that. Even if every other market's up, when China's that far down, it's going to affect. So here's the problem with the film. Let me tell you the 3 reasons why this film did not achieve full erection. I just can't stop. Sound of Freedom was a problem for this film. I know that a lot of people are discounting this faith-based, even though I would argue it's not even really that. There's certainly faith in it, but here's why Sound of Freedom was a problem for Mission Impossible. What audience do they both target? Older males, right? Conservative leaning in general. And what you're going to get is people going to see Sound of Freedom. That film is at $85 million. Yes, my voice just cracked. $85 million. I mean, did anybody, even one human being on this planet anticipate Sound of Freedom being at $85 million, and it made like another, what was it, $27 million this weekend? It just keeps kicking ass. Let's look at it here. This is a problem. Why is Sound of Freedom a problem? Because again, it's that demo. It's going to siphon off the available audience for a film that has a similar demographic. And you guys know Maverick does, and so does Mission Impossible, has a similar demo to Sound of Freedom. Now, Sound of Freedom is not like a 4-quad film or anything, right? It certainly is for a very specific audience, but the audience is speaking loud and clear. 85.5 million after a weekend here of, let's hit domestic weekend. I think it was $27 million. Guys, it's going up. It's up 37%. We never see that. Guys, we don't see that. You just don't see that other than a platform release, right? Where you're at like 4 screens or 10 screens, you go to 20, and then all of a sudden it's up, right? The overall gross is up because, of course, you added screens and it's a substantial addition. Therefore, the number's going to go up. This added, 400 screens, which is impressive, by the way, and it goes up 37%. What is that telling you? It's captured the attention of moviegoers and people that were like, I don't even know what this film is. They're saying, like, wow, it's not bad. Andre, I saw it today and I didn't think it was bad. We have the whole stream. Here's my problem with Sound of Freedom. And I'm going to make it tight because there's a whole review stream for that. It's short. It's like 4 minutes. Because the problem with this film is it needs to be cut down. It needs to be edited down to 150, 145. It's 210. It's too long. And it's not just about runtime. Whenever we say that, it's like the first thing that knee-jerk is always for someone to say, well, have you ever liked a 3-hour film? Yes, I have liked plenty of 3-hour films. It's not about runtime necessarily. It's about the feel. And the director here does not show the feel to condense his film. There's scenes in this film that don't need to go on as long as they do. There's repeats of scenes, things that's like, here, I'm going to bash you over the head. It's not necessary. The film's not as good as it could have been. I don't think it's a bad film, though, and I'm glad you liked it, Andre. Okay, so Sound of Freedom is one of the big problems. Here is the other one with Mission Impossible. That weekend release jacked up this film. Okay, Paramount said, we're going to put this out on a Wednesday. When do you guys typically go looking for a new movie? Thursday night, right? The previews. Not Paramount. Paramount's like, we're going to put this Tuesday night previews, and then Wednesday opening, and then Thursday's like a regular day, and then the weekend. The problem is that people are anticipating the film coming out on a Thursday, and then some of them maybe didn't know it came out on Tuesday night, Wednesday. So by doing that, what you set yourself up for is a more disappointing weekend number at 56 million. Now, here's the upside that no one's talking about. Okay, this is why MMT will eventually be champions here on YouTube. We're coming up, guys. You know that, and I appreciate all of the support. You guys are awesome. One of the smartest groups, certainly I would say, of any channel out there. But when you look at that weekend of 56 million, what can Paramount do now with next weekend? Because we know what's coming in, right? We're going to talk about it in a second. Barbie and Oppenheimer. You know it's going to drop. But when you have a weekend, because they're going to use that 3-day weekend. That's what they always do when you talk about a drop from weekend to weekend. 56 million. Well, let's say it holds and ends up at like 30 million. Guess what? The drop's less than 50%. So Paramount, trust me that this was part of their thinking. They say, hey, we have a lower weekend, and that means the second weekend drop won't be as noticeable. We can say, and we can use for PR spin, look at this thing, it only dropped like 38%, even though you really need to be looking at that 5-day number of 80, okay? That's called playing the game. And the studios are very, very good at it. Aaliyah, Tom wanted more days on premium screens, hence the Wednesday release, losing them next Thursday. Yes, I understand that's why Paramount shoved it there to get those premium screens for a few more days. Here's the number one problem with the movie, and it leads directly into what you're talking about, Aaliyah. It's the wrong weekend. Paramount, you done fucked up. You should have had it last weekend when Insidious, the Red Snore, was in theaters, and it ended up outperforming because everyone was like, I have nothing to see, so I'll go see this terrible horror film. By the way, our MMT whack film review of the week is coming up, and yes, I've got to do it again, to Insidious, one of the most boring films I have ever sat through, and I just can't believe when a critic recommends something that absolutely coma-inducing. But if you go back and you put this film last weekend, you have a bigger opening, you have a 3-day opening, which means your number's going to look better, and then you have longer with those premium screens. So if Paramount would have gotten this right, and if they would have listened to MMT, if they would have been here months ago, what did we say about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Disaster? What did we say months and months ago? Don't make me go back and pull a stream up. I don't need to do it. It's there. You know it. I have receipts, plenty of receipts. I told you the film was going to bomb. I told you it was going to go down in flames. And if Paramount was watching, they would know, because I'm right a lot, that it's going down, and you can shove a film in there because you, at that point, you thought maybe Indiana Jones and the Dial of Disaster will not, fall apart as quickly. No, it's going to. It's going to crater, and no one cares about that movie, even though it still is holding on at some, basic level. It's still going to lose Disney hundreds of millions of dollars. So you're going to tell me that Mission Impossible last weekend wouldn't have done more business than this weekend spread out over that 5-day? You have longer with the premium screens. It's all there for you. Here's what I think studios need to figure out. At the end of the day, we now live in a world that demands shit now. You guys are watching this show live as I sit here in Los Angeles on a Sunday night at 8:21 in the evening. And you expect it now. That's what we're doing. We're not, we just, let's go. Let's do this thing, right? We're here Sunday night, but like the last few mornings, let's just do this. Why can't studios have some maneuverability and have the agility to move these films and slide them a little bit here and there, like a week here and there? I know the theaters are dealing, they have to, book the theaters and all. I get it. But I think there needs to be more flexibility with theaters and with the studios, where they're able to take a film and move it up a week, move it back a week, and no one's going to lose their shit over it, because truthfully, it's better for everybody. The theater owners are going to benefit from Mission Impossible being in theaters last weekend, plus running for like 10 days now. And then it's going to run into what's next. You know it, Barbie and Oppenheimer. Barbenheimer is coming here on Thursday. Quick programming note. This is big. I am seeing Barbie tomorrow morning. So I need a good night's sleep. Tonight's stream is not going to go more than an hour. So you need to get your super chats in. If you want to talk here tonight, this is your moment. Because on Tuesday, you're going to get my full, unvarnished thoughts on Barbie, because that's when the embargo is up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday. That's 4 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock East Coast. We are live and we are discussing Barbie. Not necessarily like spoiler, but we're going to walk up to the edge. Scott Menzel's going to be here too. He already saw it. I told him, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'm going to walk into the film tomorrow and know nothing other than obviously the trailer and Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. But that's going to be a big stream. So Tuesday, 4 o'clock, LA time, Pacific. be here. We are going to break Barbie down, and you guys know I will not hold back. And kudos to Warner Brothers for letting me see this movie early, because a lot of times the studio's like, I don't know, Weber can be really rough with these films because he's going to say, like, there could be an issue with this audience that doesn't like. Well, that's what we do. I don't know what to tell you. That's what we do here. It's never going to change. Okay, Sham. Your number one, exactly what I was thinking. Worst weekend. I could have taken on Disney Indy 5 head to head. Exactly, right? That is, we when we do these like countdowns, right? Go back and watch the Flash stream. Why did the Flash bomb? Go back now with history and look at it, and you'll be like, my God, that was right. I don't even, by the way, just so you know, when we put these things together, when I put together Sound of Freedom, Wednesday opening, and then Wrong Weekend, I didn't look at Deadline, THR, Variety, The Wrap. I don't want to read their autopsy. We do our own here at MMT. I don't need to be looking at other people's and stealing their information. We know enough about the marketplace in these films that we don't need that stuff. And that's why you get this original content here, because we're fearless, we're objective, and we're always going to call things as they are. And when you look at Barbie, right, it's important that you are viewing that film through the lens of fearlessness, because that is a dangerous film. Trust me, I've already heard some things that are in it. It's a dangerous film to address some of the things that are in there. And you need somebody like that that's in there that can do it. But you have to get these weekends right. These studios aren't getting it right. Barbie is perfect. Barbie is setting up in literally, I think it could not be any better for Barbie. Barbie is easily now 100 million plus, okay? I need to see the film tomorrow before I can adjust that number higher. It's 100 is booked, okay? 100's booked. But if I see the film and I think that this is going to work with a very large percentage of the average movie-going audience, not film Twitter, not those people. No, we're talking about just regular Joe six-pack in Topeka, Kansas. Although he probably doesn't want to see Barbie. But his daughter might. And if I see Barbie and I think it's going to work for Joe's daughter in Topeka, then we're on. And we're going to bump that number higher, and we'll discuss that on Tuesday's stream. And, of course, Thursday night's going to be massive here, too. That's the opening night for both films, and that's our night, the preview night here, and you get to see the films and come back and tell me what you think. But Barbie has captured the zeitgeist, okay, guys? No, I'm not going to spoil Barbie. Not going to happen. We're only going to talk about, I'm not going to tell you what happens when she goes to the real world. You've seen the trailer, right, Whiplash? We're not going to do that. What I want to do, though, is at least get in there with what Greta and Noah have written. And not necessarily spoiler, but just the overall feel of the film. I think that's what we do better than anybody is not, it's sure, trust me, we can talk tech all day about editing, sound design, cinematography, score, all those things I love. But the feel of the film, and go back and look at Sound of Freedom. What did I say about that film? It doesn't have the feel. And what is the feel? It's calibration, guys. That is what this is ultimately all about. And it's not an easy thing to sit down and explain to you. You know it when you see it. You feel it. You know when the screws have been tightened to just the right level. And Sound of Freedom needs to be absolutely recalibrated and condensed, compacted, and you have a better film. That should never happen. Okay. Let me explain. I can't even make this more clear. You should never have a film that is ever released that isn't the very best version of the film that you intended to make. And the problem with these directors nowadays is they can't get out of their own way. These studios are saying, make whatever movie you want. And at some point, someone needs to step in like me, and say, you're going to lose 10 minutes. And it's not just about 10 minutes. This shit is too long right here. What is this scene all about? Why is this here? Just because you shot this doesn't mean you have to use it. You shot for a week. That's awesome. You went on location. Oh, it's amazing. It's out. It doesn't serve the story. Get it out of the film. Leave. And then you walk out of the room. We need more of that no-nonsense, straight-shooting shit with these studios instead of these whiny-ass directors. Yeah, I just want... No, listen, your film is too long. Cut it down, bro. Or gal. Spidey Sensei. Barbie's projected to make more than Mission Impossible. Oh, without question. Without question. Barbie's going to be bigger than Mission Impossible. And why? For so many reasons. It doesn't, listen, I thought that Mission Impossible 7 was going to appeal to younger audiences at some level. You're not seeing that. These numbers are not telling me that they are interested. Conversely, if you talk to younger folk, they're going to tell you Barbie. They know it's coming, right? And to even be able to crack that layer, right, to get in there and have awareness with that group that a movie's coming out, that is almost unheard of these days because they're so hard to reach. Right? In the old days, it was very easy. You just put an ad on television or on the radio. Now you've got a million different sources that you have to canvas to get your message out there. I mean, look, we're here on a streaming channel Sunday night. Here is one of a billion other options you have, and thank you for being here. But when you look at Barbie, it's managed to cut through the noise and to get to a zeitgeist position where people are aware and discussing the film, and that's why the film is going to be well over 100 million. I can't wait to see it tomorrow, guys. I'm very, very excited to see this film. Let's look at, because first of all, if I haven't said it before, I'm saying it again. I love Noah Baumbach. I also really like Greta Gerwig. I just think Noah Baumbach is an amazing writer, and I think with the two of them as a team, that is a really smart duo when it comes to writing a screenplay. I mean, I don't think I could think of two other people that I would want to write something like a Barbie, to make it something different, to make it something that's going to get you, and go, wow, that took me in a place I didn't expect to go. And I always love a big swing, and I think that's what we're going to get out of this film. Of course, I'll know tomorrow. By the way, I'm not going to tell anybody what I think of the film until Tuesday at 4:00. I'm not going to send a tweet. It's off limits. I am absolutely buttoned up until Tuesday afternoon. Look at this article from Time, okay? How Barbie took over the world. I mean, this is what we're talking about when we talk about the zeitgeist, right? Being captured by a film. It's a long-ass article here on time.com. Why is there a giant record in front of me? It's a Barbie record. No, I do not want, I just lost the article. Oh, I have to pay to watch it. It's behind a paywall. We'll just imagine what's in the article. But when you look at all the things, look, you have a tie-in with, is it Baskin Robbins, right? With the yogurt, the pink. You've got all the merchandise. The merch is everywhere. Right down the street at the Warner Brothers studio store, they have a whole section. In fact, I'm going to go over there and take some pictures because I'm right there. And they just, it's huge, guys. This film has taken over people's awareness. I mean, that's all they're talking about. So come in with your comments. Are you excited to see Barbie? I am more excited to see a film in less than 24 hours than I've been in a very long time. I got to think the last time I was this excited was probably, actually I shouldn't say, it was probably Guardians 3, because I love Guardians 1 more than 2, but I think it's a fantastic film. So when you look at, a film that I anticipate to be Guardians 3, but it's rare that we get a film like this that you just don't know what you're going to get. And for that, I'm excited tomorrow. Mary, not happy that a movie like Barbie gets it all. What? Gets all what? Oh, that Barbie just gets everything in life? I mean, listen, she's also going to get box office. She's going to be the champion next week. There's no question about it. The only thing that's going to come in and give trouble, but it's not even the same demo, right? Here's the thing. Both films, Barbie and Oppenheimer, can exist in the marketplace. And so can Mission Impossible. And I've said that for weeks now. I'm not that worried about Mission Impossible. As we went in and did the numbers earlier and talked about how it's down. Listen, honestly, I'm not that worried. I mean, it's not going to hit $1 billion. I'm going to definitely take that off the table. Not happening. But you have 3 films that are just different enough for them to all exist in this marketplace. Barbie's going to work for the younger audiences and, the Gen Zs, the millennials, all of them. And then also some older folk that are like, let's go see Barbie. So you're going to have that. Oppenheimer is for the cinephiles, right? It's for the movie lovers, the Nolan freaks, all those people. We get it, right? But that's not a movie that's going to get above, look at the number here. I got it about 45 plus. I got to see that Tuesday night. We're going to do an Oppenheimer stream, by the way, Tuesday night. It's going to be an embargo stream, so you know what that means. This is not a review. We'll do that on Tuesday night, like at 9:30 my time. That's 12:30, old school midnight movie talk time on that. But 45 million still is a win, I think, for Universal should it get to that point. I think that it should easily clear that number. And then how far it goes above that, I need to see first, right? Before I make any evaluation on a film as far as box office, I really need to see the film because I need to know, is it going to work at all for someone who's a non-cinephile? That's the concern. Tenet obviously came out during COVID. Drove to Vegas to see Tenet, for those of you who hadn't heard that story. That's how bad it was here in LA. You can't go to movie theaters. If you go, everyone will die. Everyone you know, the entire community will no longer exist if you go see a movie. So I had to drive to Vegas to watch Tenet. But Tenet is a more, right, we talk about available audience in like terms of the pie chart. How big is the actual available audience? And Tenet is a bigger available audience than Oppenheimer. It is, guys. I mean, that's the reality of it. So that's the question. Oppenheimer, can it appeal to a bigger portion of the pie chart than at least the cinephiles, the Nolan, the film, those people, right? Sham, thank you for the super chat. I'm Jack for Barbie after reading Greta was inspired by the Truman Show. That's what it's funny. The Truman Show is like Warner Brothers thing now, right? I don't know what studio was Truman Show, but here's why listen to me here. Go back and watch Don't Worry Darling, Truman Show. Different remix. And then now we have Barbie, which is very likely Truman Showy. And remember, Lego Movie, Truman Showy. So what all three of those films have in common? I think Truman Show was Paramount. But all three of the films I just mentioned that are Truman Showy are all Warner Brothers. So whoever is like putting the final touches on the scripts over there or the first touches is like, the Truman Show's a good idea. Why don't we Lego Movie, Barbie, and Don't Worry Darling. Paramount. Thank you, John. I got it. I got it right before you did. I was like, because you know how I knew that? Because when you go to Paramount, I was just there to watch Mission Impossible. Yes, I am location dropping here. You go in and there's a gigantic blue like side of a studio. And that's where they shot the scene at the end. They filled it with water. It's got like a standing pool, like maybe like 2 feet deep. And you can fill it with water. And then there's the sky. And that's the scene at the end of the movie. And it's on the lot when you go and park your car. You literally park like next to the pool / the water in Truman Show. I love living in LA, guys. And I think it also, let me tell you this, I think it brings you an added element to what we do here, because the truth is you could talk about movies all you want in Ohio, in Indiana, in Georgia. But at the end of the day, when you're here in the middle of Los Angeles, especially when we get to award season and you're doing these events, you're going out there and you're getting a grasp on the voters and you're getting, to meet and greet those involved, you have a better understanding how it all fits together. And once we get to award season, by the way, guys, you guys know I run awardsace.com. That's really like my wheelhouse. So the fact that we've been able to build the channel away from that, right? Talking about blockbusters, talking about films like Insidious. God, I don't even want to talk about it. Here it comes, by the way, guys. I have to do it. It's time for the MMT whack film review of the week. And we are going to go to Rotten Tomatoes. Oh no, Weber's picking on a girl. Didn't even notice who said it until I read it. I didn't even notice who the critic was. I just read the review and go, holy crap, that's terrible. The Red Door is a captivating exploration. First of all, I got to stop. I'm not going to even read another second of this review from Amanda Mazzillo. We're not going to film joy, because this film is as anti-film joy as it gets. Insidious, The Red Snore is the last thing I said last week. We had, of course, Scott Mendelson calling it fascinating. And here we have Amanda calling The Red Door captivating. It's my Krusty the Clown voice, because I laugh because I can't literally, when you read, has anyone seen it? Come on, someone come in here. Producer Nate, do we have anybody who saw Insidious that will back me up? It is one of the most boring films of all time, and the fact that Amanda says it's captivating makes it our MMT whack film review of the week. I don't have a shill this week because we're going to do shills whenever we get a chance. We're going to do the shill of the week, but we can always find a whack film review of the week. That's really easy. By the way, tonight's kit is PSG 2018 Home. So I give you a little, I like that kit. I want to go out and get the PSG 20. There it is. I mean, 2018, so it's going to be a little harder to get, but there it is. Why do people do demonic movies? Omega Swiper. Well, I don't mind a demonic movie as long as it's not boring as hell, as Insidious. If anyone's seen it, am I the only person? It's made like $50 million. I know I'm not the only person who saw Insidious, The Red Snore. But listen, the first 30 minutes of that film, I can't even believe Patrick Wilson allowed that to be the version that he released. There's nothing that happens. They're sitting around at a funeral that takes way too long, and then we get to the kid who's going off to college. That takes too long. Then we get to college, and he's got a roommate that's way over the top. The movie's terrible. Insidious is one of the worst films of the year, and I'm angry I didn't save time for it on our worst of the year thus far. By the way, that's a stream for you available on MMT. Let's do it. Let's just open this up. Dominique, super chat. I'm always good for that. Open comment time. Producer Nate, give me super chats, and then we'll go from there. A Barbie versus a Marvel movie would hurt each other, but Barbie versus Oppenheimer has such little crossover and fans that can both exist. No question. They're different demos, right? So they'll be fine. Mission Impossible will still be there in the background. Remember, the problem for Mission Impossible is it loses the PLFs, the IMAXs, the Dolbys, the Primes. It might keep Prime. I got to look at that. Let me see what's happening on Thursday with that. But so they lose IMAX and Dolby. Why is that important? Because it costs more to go see an IMAX and a Dolby movie. You get a bigger upcharge, so the studios get more cash. So they want to sell more tickets to that. Plus, most people who go to the movies now want to see these films in the best possible format. Now, I have not seen Barbie. One of the reasons that I'm excited to see the film is, for many different evaluation purposes, is do you need to see this film in Dolby? Can you see this film at a regular theater? Because I think based on what I can see from Barbie, I think this is a film that is not a necessary PLF situation. Mission is. Oppenheimer is. So Barbie could be one of those you can get away with watching on theater number 10, right? Theater 10 to the right, theater 11, theater 12, not theater 1 or 2 or 3, but theater 10. You're okay there because you're going to pay a little less if you don't have A-list. I don't know what you're doing. You need to get that done. But there's some films, let's be honest, guys. I love theatrical. There's some films you don't need to see on the PLF screen. You just don't. I mean, there's no reason to see a film that's a small, intimate character study on PLF. I'm not suggesting it won't be a better experience, because it always will be. If you showed me Tar, which of course I saw Tar down at the Academy Museum, which is essentially, it's a PLF. I mean, it's a Dolby out. It's insane. That room's crazy. Yes, it makes it better. No one's going to argue that. But you know what I mean? Is it essential? Like, if you watch Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning on your phone, what are we doing? If you watch Tar on your phone, you can get away with it. Don't get me wrong. Cinematography, production design, everything about that film is grand, but you could still watch it on your phone. So I'll let you know about that. But yeah, you're right, 100%. Dominic, great super chat. It's open comment time, guys. Whatever you want to do. I mean, I really, if you have something that you didn't hear about on the show that you want to bring up, I'm down with that. One thing I wanted to talk about quickly is Sound of Freedom. There's some reports that the producers are buying tickets for people to see it, or people are buying tickets to pay it forward. Like, you just show up at the theater and they're like, here's 2 tickets. Well, I mean, listen, studios have, since the dawn of time, figured out ways to make things work box office wise. I still, to this day, don't understand. I will never understand how Avatar 2 made as much money as it did, because I went to that theater many times and it wasn't that full. And I'm like, where are all the people? How is this thing making so much money? Now, I'm not saying it didn't perform at a really solid level after that mediocre start, but I'm just saying, you don't think that studios have found a way to bump numbers one way or another? Happens every weekend when they actually go with the estimate, right? So as you know, they get the Friday number, they get Saturday number, and then they actually estimate the entire weekend based on the Friday number. So that's why everyone goes, well, the weekend's not over. I'm like, we've done enough of these films where if you know the Friday number, you can turn that into the weekend number simply by an equation. Usually it's like 2.4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're really good, it's almost a 3 multiple. That usually happens on the second weekend. The reason that you have that like 2.2, 3, 4 multiple, 2.2, 2.2, 3, 2.4. I know I'm talking like inside baseball, but for those of you who get this, is because of that Thursday night is rolled into Friday. So you get a massive Friday number. And then, of course, Saturday is going to naturally be a letdown because you don't have that Thursday night. When you start screenings at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, think about all that cash from a 4 o'clock, a 7 o'clock, and then maybe a 10 o'clock screening on a Thursday and multiple screens now. And then you roll that into Friday. That's why you get the big numbers. So the SAG and writer strike, your thoughts on AI for likeness. Listen, every day, I live here in Burbank. I drive by Disney, Warner Brothers, and Universal every day. And they're all out there now. Like on Friday, when I was going to the gym, there was like, I've never seen more people outside of Warner Brothers. Check my Twitter feed. I have the whole picture. In fact, let me pull it up. I might as well just do it. I mean, I'm not going to send you to Twitter. I'm going to do it myself. But it was packed. I mean, you guys don't understand. I go by that all the time. Right here in Olive, you go right by it. You go up and over the hill to go to the gym. And boom, there is a ton of people. Hold on, let me roll down. I got to go through this. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Watch as Eric goes through his Twitter feed. Thrilling. By the way, this is a badass Tar cover. Thank you. I forgot. How cool is that? You guys know that everything behind me is an FYC screener. So technically, I can't put this up, but I'm possibly considering making an exception for that amazing cover. As you guys see the one behind me here, boom. I like that. And there's also another. Tar is the only film on the MMT FYC wall of perfection, mostly, except for you-know-who over here. Where is she? Princess Diana, Wonder Woman 84, worst comic movie of all time. But when you look at Tar, it's up there 2 times. Why? Because Tar's a masterpiece, y'all. You know it. You guys know. Don't argue that. You know I'm right. And by the way, thank you for sending me that. Okay, let's keep going. Hold on. I got to find it. I got to find the picture from Warner Brothers. Man, this guy tweeted a lot about Warner Brothers, about the weekend box office. What is up with this dude? Oh, who's that guy? That guy looks like he hits the gym. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let me walk you through Warner Brothers. So this is on Olive. As you go, let me zoom in a little tighter here. So as you drive by, this is gate 4, right? It says right there. You guys see it, gate 4. So as you walk by, walk or drive right by here, I ride my bike by here like all the time. You go right by, and it's normally there's no one out there. And look, by the way, you don't understand. That's just a little bit of it. Watch, this goes a little further to the right. Look at all that. All the SAG-AFTRA on strike, all that. Plus there's some WGA in there. There's a WGA sign. You go all the way down. Hold on, let me show you. This is around the corner. So they always have like one of their animated series there on the end, the billboard. And then you got all the people walking. I've never seen this. Even during the writer's strike, I've never seen this many people walking on that edge there along Olive. Okay. Next, hold on, one more picture. This is in front of like the old school Warner Brothers, like the first part where the executives have their offices. There's like a guard right there. It's like wide open though. You can see, I think it's a guard right there. But look, all these people were camped out there. I mean, this is crazy. So it helps the writer's strike to have the WGA in there. And certainly SAG, right? The combo of the two of them. It's going to get done. I still think it's going to take until August to get done. I'm going to host personal fitness tests. I mean, listen, I don't know. I mean, the guy here, hold on for a second. Sorry, you guys know I have to do it just because I have to do it. Because whenever someone says this shit, I got to do it so you guys know that I'm not fooling around. That's why I do this. So, like all these guys talk the shit. How many guys out there talk, blah, 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 they talk all this bullshit and they don't back it up, right? They're all smoke and mirrors. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm not smoking mirrors, okay? And it's because I bust my ass in the gym, okay? End of discussion. I'm done with that. It's moving on. Okay, let's get rid of it. But thank you. That's good. But listen, back to the super chat. The WGA in the SAG strike will get done by August because the shows that start ramping up and getting the production staff staffed up, that happens in August. So look for it to end in early August. Right now, there's nothing. You can do all the picketing you want. They're not even looking at it. I'm telling you, the studios are going to wait until August. Now, back to the AI thing. I understand the issue with AI. I mean, we just saw it in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, this sentient AI. So when you look at them being able to use AI to write scripts, to create likenesses of characters, right? To now come up with these. And, a lot of people talked about Indiana Jones and the Dial Disaster. Like, I'm done with the de-aging, but I would argue that the de-aging in Dial of Destiny looks really good. It doesn't look as creepy even as the Irishman, right? It's getting better. So let me tie that into AI. If that's getting better, that means AI is getting better. And therefore, we need to be worried. Like, I mean, the Terminator, listen, I mean, they say Hollywood likes to write stuff and show you what the future's going to look like. Right now, Children of Men and Terminator are looking pretty damn frightening. But seriously, I mean, we should be afraid of some kind of... how many movies have been made about man having noble intention in making Frankenstein, and then, oh my God, it's not what I thought, and we need to shut this shit down, okay? So that's what we have. So yeah, I mean, I understand why the writers and the actors are like, fuck AI. Which 2023 movie do you think will stand the test of time? Still talked about in 20 years. No, wait, it's Barbie. It depends, Kuzma. It depends on how good this film is. Guys, I can't tell you until I see it, but I do believe that Greta Gerwig has a chance to make something that lasts and stands the test of time. I don't know if it's going to be the case with this film, but I'm going to tell you that she has the opportunity. I'll let you know on that stream Tuesday, 4 o'clock, my time, 7 o'clock East Coast. We go live, Barbie. No spoiler, but it is not. This is not a review. It's a full-on discussion of Barbie. Menzel will be here. The two of us going back and forth, just like the opening night, opening day here. Remember way back. Go back to the channel. First stream, Batman, me and Menzel arguing it. He didn't like it as much as me. And by the way, who was right? Me. Eric, thanks for that uncovering of Westfield Century City. Realizing it hit Westfield, London, it was a gorgeous, different realm. The architecture is out of this world. Westfield's like the number one. They know how to do malls, right? They don't mess around. Century City is Westfield, and it's my favorite by far of any mall here. It's outdoor. It's got high-end stores, but it also has like normal stuff. For me, I love sporting goods. You guys can tell by how many kits I have. I mean, way too many. Because I always go to Under Armour, Adidas, Athletic, what's the Second Soul, any of those places, Foot Locker. I'm in those places going, oh my God, there's a new pair of shoes for the gym. Oh shit, there's a new pair of tights. I mean, that's what I love, and that's place has a lot of that stuff. But thank you for that. It's a great mall. I wish I could have written a better script for Indiana Jones with AI than what they wrote. Jeffrey, it's terrible, right? It's not. It's not just that no one wanted the film. The film's boring. It's a complete. We talked at the beginning of the stream about being flaccid. Indiana Jones is a flaccid film, right? It just has no thrust, no girth, no stiffness. It's just a limp film. And it speaks to how poorly the script. No one wanted to see Phoebe Waller-Bridge. No one wanted to see Indiana Jones at 80. You know, the worst part about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Disaster is that now you have destroyed Indiana Jones. There's no way to bring Indiana Jones back. We need to pretend it doesn't exist, right? We've talked about films that get made and you go, I'm just going to pretend that film doesn't exist. I'm going to pretend that there wasn't a sequel to, and come in and tell me a movie like that. I just saw it. What was it? We talked about it many times. I'm going to pretend that this was the end for the thing. There's never was another one. I mean, God, Transformers, Rise of the Beast. Not The Last Night was good. I'm going to pretend Age of Extinction was the extinction of the Transformers franchise. And that's not even a good franchise, but man, Rise of the Beast sucks. The Manimals. What were they called? The Garanimals? So bad. But Jeff, it's terrible. The script's terrible. I feel a freaky segment. I mean, we could do one to finish it. We could do one. Hold on. Let me see. I was going to think about... I didn't have a physique critique tonight. I'm going to save the physique critique until we get to Barbie. And we're going to do Ryan Gosling again, who I think has a really good physique, okay? Let's go and let's do this before I go. I always forget to do this. MMT must see. You're all gonna scream right now. Go ahead, everyone yell, everyone scream. Oh my god, no shit, Collateral. Listen to me. If you've never seen Michael Mann's masterpiece, he's got multiple Heat, and yes, here, Collateral. You need to, when the stream is over, go find it on whatever streaming platform it's on. It's everywhere, obviously. It's back from, what, '04. You need to watch Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise in Collateral. How next level and unexpected is Tom Cruise in Collateral? I mean, he is menacing. You know, you go, that's Tom Cruise. And then you watch the film, you're like, holy shit, that guy's a badass. Like when they pull up to the apartment, right? And he gets out and he's waiting in the car, listening to his jazz music, and the body just goes bam right on top of the. Holy shit. And then Cruise just like gets the gun out and goes, get it off, roll it off. It's so good. Cruise, when he is like not suffering fools. That's what I call Cruise in this film. Like, you know, that part where he's talking about, he just goes off on Jamie Foxx. By the way, prayers for him. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Jamie Foxx. We can discuss that, but I'm telling you, something is really bad with Jamie Foxx. That whole video of him on the boat, something's really bad. And I told you guys my Jamie Foxx story. Nicest guy. One of the coolest celebrities I've ever met. But back to Cruise, that scene when Jamie Foxx is like, oh my God, and Cruise goes, listen, man, I'm going to paraphrase because I haven't watched Collateral in a long time. It just came to me because I was watching Heat. You all seen Heat. I mean, come on. But when you watch Collateral, he's got the thing where he's like, you know, why are you freaking out? Like, you don't know where you're going to be in 5 minutes. Like, most people know what they're going to do tomorrow and the day after and the years off. And that whole speech, I kid you not, in a weird way, I talk about films that influenced like my life, and not like in a little way, in a macro way. Go back and watch Drive. When I was in Boston, I watched Drive, and I watched it 2 times in one day. I saw the early screening of a press screening. I went to the later, like regular audience advanced screening. I just fell in love. I crushed so hard on Drive because of LA, because of this city. And I knew when I watched Drive, I'm going to move back out to LA. I lived in Boston at the time. I moved to Charlotte. And then I said, I'm going back to LA. I need to be there. That's my city. Like, that's where I exist in the most purest sense of me. And you go back and look at Collateral, that scene where he's in the cab, or he's like, you don't know where you're going to be in the next 10 minutes. I love that philosophy of life. And I've kind of lived that. I don't live a normal life. I live a very, let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. I don't want to do the same shit every day. And I think you guys know from the channel, you don't know what you're going to get here any given night. And I think that's one of the keys to living an enjoyable and fulfilling life, is to not have everything written out for you. Take chances, go after things, do things you never would do. If it doesn't work out, who gives a shit? I mean, really, what do you lose if you try something and you fail? You don't. You learn from the experience. Maybe you fail and you get better and you go after it again. I mean, guys, the channel, it's been around now for what? About a year and 4 months. That's not a long time in YouTube time, right? But when we started, it was like, 3 people, 4 people, and God bless everyone who was here from the beginning. There's quite a few. You guys are awesome. Even if you just join, or it's amazing, the journey. But imagine if you just said, that's it, I'm done. Nope, it's done. Not gonna. It's never, because when I do the show, I'm not even kidding you. I don't even look at the number of that's watching. I don't want to know, because ultimately I'm trying to communicate to one person, not to 500, not to 1,000. It's to one, to you. It's not, so it doesn't matter. I don't want to see what that number is. I don't care if it's 2,000. It's never been 2,000. I know that, but it doesn't matter, because it's all about, I would do the show if there's one person and we just like a communication. It's like, let's talk about movies. That's what this channel is. You guys know that. It's like, I don't even have any like expectations for it. I enjoy doing it, and I hope you guys do, like watching it. Collateral's amazing. You must see it. You must see this film. Please do so for me. All right, producer Nate, give me any super chats, and let's do open comments for the last 12 minutes. 12 minutes and we're out of here. I need my beauty sleep for Barbie tomorrow, guys. I have to pick out my best pink kit to wear tomorrow. I only have so many. I've got to spread them out. I know I sound like a woman, but just listen to me. I want to, when I go to these movies, I want to pick the kit that matches the feel of the film. I don't want to walk into Barbie wearing an all black kit. I want to wear something bright pink. I have at least two I know of, maybe a third. So I need to make sure that's right. When you guys tune in, it's not just about what we're talking about. It's like, what the hell is he? He's got another one out. He's out of the closet again with another football shirt. Eric, you're going to watch Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter. No, Simeon, I'm going to watch it in IMAX on Tuesday night. They gave us an option, IMAX or 70 millimeter. Here's what my plan is for Oppenheimer. Tuesday night, watch it at about 6 o'clock out here in LA. That means I will be out of the theater at 9. That means I will be on a stream discussing Oppenheimer in a very constricted fashion because there is an embargo. So it'll be, this is not a review. At about 9:30, Oppenheimer thoughts, initial take on the film. So then I'm going to see it in 70 millimeter this coming weekend at Dolby Burbank, or just Burbank. It's not in Dolby. I think it's obviously in IMAX. 70 millimeters back in one of the big screens in the back of the complex, the 16. So I'm going to see it in 70 millimeter, but first I'm going to see it in IMAX because he shot it in IMAX, and I think that's the best way to go. By the way, I'm seeing it in Universal IMAX, which is, as I've told you, the biggest screen in LA. I mean, it's like, if you are in the first few rows, you are straight wrecked. Like, you can't even watch the film. I don't even care about like an Oppenheimer that is more of like, right, it's not an action film, right? Like, imagine like watching Mission Impossible. In that first row, you're like this. Oh my God, I can't, because it's like it's so big and it's right in front of you, and you're like, I can't do this. So I got to get there early so I'm not too close to the screen. But IMAX Tuesday, stream on Tuesday night for that. It is open comment time. Let's do it. You have less than 10 minutes. Get in. Super chat, you're in. I see like 400 comments. Producer Nate, you've done a rocking job, dude. I need you for like another like less than 10 minutes. Hang in there. And let's do it. Where is Adam 22 laying the plug? I'm not talking about that. Schlacker, I'm only going to say this. I didn't know who Adam 22 was until I clicked on the video of him, and I believe is that his wife, like breastfeeding an older kid. I know, guys, I'm sorry. I know you don't, I'm going to make this short, but here's what I'm going to say. This world is made markedly worse by scummy people like Adam 22. I'm tired of people who make the world an uglier place get a higher voice and a louder voice in society. I'm done with it. We need to get these people out. I don't want to deal with the Kardashians. We need to get people who have important things to say there, not a guy who with his wife is breastfeeding a kid. If that was me, can I just ask you a question? If that was me in that video, would you guys, I'd be canceled. So how the hell is that trash Adam 22 and whatever lane of the plug? They talk about sex stuff. If in this country, you can be successful by being trash, and I will never do that. And people like that disgust me, and I don't want any part of them. You actively shitify the world. So fuck you is what I got to say. I don't want that in my life. I don't want those people even around. Get them off. Do not watch that stuff. God, is that good enough for you, Schlacker? I don't want to be dumbed down by watching idiots discuss stuff that is completely and utterly childish and completely non-mind expanding. If anything, it makes you less of a human. Alan, Oppenheimer is going to grab history buffs and people who love war films. And it's also just going to grab cinephiles, right, Alan? It's going to have a really nice... here's the thing about Oppenheimer. Do you want... this? I got to watch what I say here. Oppenheimer is going to be a smart audience, okay? Oppenheimer... okay, let's do this. We're going to do it right. If you took Oppenheimer's IQ, the collective IQ of an audience that is in Oppenheimer in IMAX, and you put it up against the audience IQ for Transformers Rise of the Beasts, there would be a difference that would probably break the IQ testing machine. What just happened? These people, we just lost everything. We had this really, what happened? Well, we went from Oppenheimer to Transformers. Well, that explains it. That's why our IQ just dropped to imperceptible. I don't even see the number over here. Over here, it's like, look at all these smart people. That is the difference between Oppenheimer is for brain-enabled human beings, unlike Adam 22. By the way, I'm going to start calling myself something like that. Why am I here like Eric Weber? I'm Eric 21. That's too on the nose. I love the number 21. I don't know. For whatever reason, it's like a lucky number for me. I am Eric Ace. Your thought on what is the final number, Crampy? Let me look at that. It is wide open time. It is wide open hit time tonight. But oh wait, who's that guy? I'm sorry, guys. You know why I got to do it? I got to keep doing it because there's plenty of people. Hey, Weber's all talk. Weber just talks a bunch. He doesn't live the shit. He talks about going to the gym. He talks about going to parties. He talks about, I'm in the middle of it. I live the shit. And let me say one more thing. Should I do it? Let me say one more thing. No, I'm not going to do it. I'll save it for another time. I was going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay, let me check Guardians 3. Is it like 800 million? I mean, it got up there. I know it really picked up, and congratulations. I didn't think this film was going to do 800 million. Is it at 8? Let's see. 842, guys. If you would have asked me after that opening weekend if we'd be at 842, I'd say no way in hell. Same thing with Avatar. These are two films that managed to take a very average opening and then bang, just drill the multiple. Now remember that Guardians benefited from a bunch of crap afterwards. I mean, Spider-Verse was great, right? But there was some stuff like Transformers. People are still going to go see Guardians. There were some weekends in there that Guardians really cleaned up because there wasn't any competition. That's what we talked about for Mission Impossible 7. It should have been last weekend against Insidious and Joyride. It would have made easily 100 million over the 3-day weekend. So here's what I would say. Paramount lost $20 million by not moving that up a weekend. $20 million. Now, does that come back over the long haul? I don't know. I'm just talking about the optics of it. But yeah, that's impressive, 842. TV's a no-go for you. I'm curious to know some of your favorite TV shows of all time. John, let's see. For me, it would be Ozark. I know these are current because I got to go back in time. But, I mean, when I was a kid, it was A-Team, Airwolf, Three's Company, right? Super Friends, Saturday morning. Thundarr the Barbarian. I mean, come on. If I was a studio head, the first thing I would do, I would purchase the rights to Thundarr the Barbarian, and I would pump 100 million into a movie, which you probably need more because Thundarr is going to be this like crazy sci-fi fantasy thing. But Thundarr the Barbarian was amazing. Ukla the Mock. He had his sun sword and Ariel. Ariel has one of the best bodies in the history of animation. Go watch Thundarr and just search Ariel Thundarr. You'll be like, oh, no, let's just do that. Why am I telling you to go search? That's my job. Oh my God, there it is. Get ready for Ariel, the 10 of a body for an animated film. Here she is. Let me pop it up bigger. All right, you guys ready? I swear this dream has lost its mind. There's Princess Ariel. I mean, you guys, come on. I mean, are you kidding me? These artists were really good at that time. Hold on, let me get back. Let me squeeze it back. Let's see if there's another picture, like a full body. This is where I love. I hope someone does this. Look at that creep. Weber saying Princess Ariel has a sick body. What's wrong with that guy? That's freaking wrong, man. What's wrong with you, bro? That guy's creepy. Screw you guys. I'll do what I want to do. You can't make me change. There it is. There she is. No, Princess Ariel was amazing. My God. So we are going to green light Thundarr the Barbarian. Thank you, John. I never thought. These are the moments that you never know. Can I just say that what I love about this show is you guys coming in with some rant, and I just go riff off of this into some, like, I didn't even plan this. I had no idea we'd be talking about Thundarr and how hot Princess Ariel was until, John, you asked the question. But yes, Thundarr. Okay, let's go another 5. Nate, producer Nate, you can roll out if you want. I'm good. I can handle it from here. I only have 400 comments staring at me. Exactly. Look at the detail of this 4 curved line. I mean... I mean, look at Princess Ariel. Oh my God. I mean, if I did a physique, oh, fine. We've never done a female physique critique. Let's do it here. We might as well do this. So this is Princess Ariel from Thundarr the Barbarian, which was on Saturday mornings back in the 80s. And I think that this is when I realized that I am really into this body type. I was a kid and I'm like, man, Ariel looks great. She has really good curves, right? When you look at Ariel, she's just really well animated. Uh, I don't know what else to say. Oh, we lost her. We lost her. I gotta find her again. But yeah, this is random, and I think I what I appreciate about you guys is that you go there and go, whatever. This is just like weird, but I like that. This is why I love MMT. You never know what you don't. I don't. Listen, guys. Honestly, Eliza Gonzalez could play that. She could totally play. No, she could play Princess Ariel. I don't want to talk about DCEU. No, I have to do it for secret. No, but listen, I think what this show is, and what I love doing about, especially the live show on Sunday night when it's longer and I can just go off. And frankly, I'm like dying. It's like 1,000,000 degrees here in Burbank. You can see beads of sweat. Like Weber's getting shiny. Someone get out there and pat him down. What I love about the show is the availability to just go wherever and just kind of, I don't know where we're going, man. Don't Kusma, don't do it. Don't do it to me. But it's just the ability to just go for an hour. I've been going off for like an hour, and it's thank you, Kuzma. It's just random thoughts enter my mind, as you guys probably know by now, and then it's like ADD Weber's going off on Princess Ariel from Thundarr. What the fuck am I watching? This is weird, but that's the point. But it's also informative at times. And I hope to be this week. I'm going to go over the shows one more time before we roll out of here. And by the way, thank you guys. Jessica Rabbit is, man, yeah, I mean, right? 100%. I'm with you. Either one. But I mean, remember, what's the mission of the channel? To not go with the obvious thing. The obvious thing is Jessica Rabbit. I'm not calling you out here, Sham. I'm just saying none of you like even probably know about Princess Ariel. Now you're like, Ariel, holy crap. Now that's competition for Jessica Rabbit. No one's done that in the history of this channel. In the history of YouTube, no one has compared Jessica Rabbit and Ariel from Thundarr. That's what we do. We're just constantly breaking new ground here. Breaking new ground. We are that elite of a level of weirdness. Okay, listen. This week, here's what I got. This is the schedule. You guys, listen, please. This is very important as we get ready to wrap, because this is going to be the biggest stream of MMT's history. I'm calling it Tuesday, I almost said night, 4 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock night on the East Coast. Live. The Barbie embargo, boom, it's gone. So that means that we are going to be live here on Midnight Movie Talk, 4 LA time Pacific, talking about Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, who wrote it, Barbie, with Scott Menzel. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to bring in Menzel, and then we're going to get after it. I hope we disagree. I hope he loved it / hated it, and I loved it / whatever it is, we're opposite, because I want to go after it with him. I can't wait. That's on Tuesday at 4. Then I get in a car and I drive over to Universal and I watch Oppenheimer. I come out of Oppenheimer, I come back here, sit down, and we do a live stream at 9:30-ish. That'll be one of those like just touch and go. I'm going to go 9:30 though. And it'll be not a review, tight 10-minute Oppenheimer reaction. I'm considering the next day when the embargo actually drops for Oppenheimer, discussing it more at length. Again, I think the key to any of these streams is to do as spoiler-free as possible, because I know you guys don't want to. I don't want to ruin the film for you. I just want to say, when we watch Barbie, these are the aspects that work. These are the things that don't. If I say the screenplay is a little bit much, there's not enough time for the characters. I read that somewhere. I didn't want to know that actually, but I already saw it. But I can say that without saying in the scene where, right? So that's the key. So we're going to be back here Tuesday, 4 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock East Coast, wherever you are. Cue your watch, get the alerts. We're live at 4 o'clock. The embargo drops. We discuss Barbie. I'm excited. I haven't been this excited for a film since Guardians 3, which was disappointing for me. I don't think it's a bad film. I just don't think it's as good as 1. I think it's probably about on level with 2. I think it's fine. It's too long. There's stuff that needs to be condensed. But I hope tomorrow that I come out of Barbie and I want to talk about it, but I can't because there's an embargo and I don't want to do a stream and have Warner Brothers take it down. So we're going to wait until Tuesday at 4 and then it's on. We're going to do me, Scott, and then also all the reviews that are posting on Rotten Tomatoes then, and I will review the reviews. What the hell did you watch? Just like we did tonight with the worst film review of the week. What do we call that? The whack film review. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to roll out. Any more? Let me make sure I didn't miss a super chat. Don't come in with a super chat. I'm leaving. I got to go to bed. Guys, as always, it's a pleasure, a great pleasure to bring the show to you. I know that it's one of the weirdest film shows out there, but that's just what it is. It'll never change. I'm sorry, I cannot change it. it's just who it is. It's who your host is. It's what the show is. And thank you for being here, guys. Back here Tuesday, 4 o'clock Pacific for Barbie. The embargo lowers and we bring it. See you next time.